Hey everyone, Sean Dawson here from Julie Harris Realty with your March 2022 update. Forgive the fact that I wasn't able to provide a video update last month. I was in the middle of moving into my new home with my wife and it was just a very busy month in general. Speaking of which, of course, I am shooting from a different location this month. This is in fact our bedroom. Just seems to be the best room for natural light at this time of day. So bear with me over the next few months while I experiment on perhaps new locations to be filming from. I'm operating more so out of home these days, and this time of day this just seems to be the most well-lit room. But we'll get straight into it. So of course every month I'm talking about the monthly indices and nothing is different here. Something that is of very interesting note is that as of this month, Brisbane is the strongest performing market in all of the country. If you don't count the little indice that Corelogic collate when they talk about Brisbane and the Gold Coast, which is not a heap better, just marginally, but in general it looks like Southeast Queensland is now the strongest performing market in all of the country. So the change for year on year for all dwellings, so the difference between February 21 and February 22, 29.69% increase, so nearly 30%. But then when you look at traditionally stronger markets elsewhere in the country, so for example, the same stat, Sydney year on year only up 22.36%, and Melbourne only up 12.55%. When you look at the month on month changes, Brisbane still leading the pack, up 1.85%. Whereas, and perhaps a prelude to what we may need to expect later this year, but Sydney only, Sydney with a decline of 0.1% down for the month on month, and Melbourne only saw an increase of 0.01%, so barely anything between the 2 months. But back to Brisbane, of course, with houses. Now, of course, houses generally carry a lot of the weight in most markets, including Brisbane. Year on year, houses up in Brisbane 32.75%, and month on month up 1.91%, whereas Sydney and Melbourne respectively down 0.4% and 0.04% and 0.02% for houses. So barely a change at all in those two markets across the month. And then units, so townhouses, etc. Brisbane up year on year 14.37% compared to Sydney's 13.75% and Melbourne's 6.96%. And then month on month, Brisbane up 1.47% compared to Sydney's 0.26% down, and Melbourne's bare increase at 0.07% up. So with the stronger performing markets traditionally now looking like they're about to enter a plateau or at least a decline, maybe we can consider what's going to happen here in Brisbane. It wouldn't be too unreasonable to see something like that happen, considering what we've seen in the last 12 to 18 months in Brisbane and all the other capital markets for that matter. But where we continue to see great strength is in those inner city 12-kilometre ring suburbs, including Mount Gravatt East, where our office is. So a new stat that I've got for this month, this comes courtesy of OnTheHouse, which is essentially a more wider customer base fronting portal that most people are familiar with, that's operated by Corelogic. For the first time ever, with the new month, Mount Gravatt East houses hit a median value of $1,005,000. So one of those suburbs that cracks that illustrious $1 million median value mark. Where it goes from here, we'll see. We'll just keep monitoring it for the time being. Speaking of houses in Mount Gravatt East, we've currently got this one on 885 Cavendish Road. Now, where your median value for houses has hit over that $1 million mark at this point, generally speaking, what we're seeing is that is occurring with houses on the quiet streets in the nice green leafy neighbourhoods in the suburb. There are certain parts of the suburb that see more increases than others, but what is good about this 885 Cavendish Road is, as we all know, Cavendish Road is a slightly busier road than a lot of your quieter streets in the suburb, and so as a result is likely to sell for a lower number than that $1 million mark. Currently looking for offers in the mid-8s at the moment. It's a 3-bedroom, single bathroom, 2-car, original early 70s build house, nice big 607 block. Mostly original but well kept condition. There's a few things here and there that need a bit of attention, but if you're desperate to kind of find your your home in a suburb close to the city, and you can no longer afford suburbs like perhaps Carina Heights, Holland Park West, and you are considering jumping south of Nursery Road into Mount Gravatt East, and you've seen those median values increase, you might need to consider something like that. So opening this weekend, all offers will be presented to the seller for their consideration. Another suburb that has just hit the $1 million median mark is Wynnum. Now, I traditionally don't operate a lot out in Wynnum. I've sold a handful of properties out there, but we've recently listed this fantastic house, 8 Saunders Place. Now, this is a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom, at least 4-car, if not more, in the driveway. A stately home in a nice, quiet little estate next to the water. 650 square metre block. Really high-end, quality build house, suspended slabs, full concrete build, multiple entertaining areas, lounge room 1, lounge room 2, dedicated movie room, sports bar, downstairs sauna, entertaining area outside with a nice little lap pool, spa, so many things everywhere that would just make this home the perfect kind of home for someone that may be looking for that quintessential Bay lifestyle. Inspections only by appointment. We're qualifying buyers quite heavily to show through this home. So if you think you're looking for that really kind of like majestic, large, stately home on the Bay side, please give me a call. The suburb, like I said, has cracked the $1 million median mark this month as well. And it is only surely to continue in that respect. I might leave it at that one. Again, apologies for the fact that I'm shooting from my bedroom today. That will change moving forward. I'm just in the middle of setting up a home office. I might be able to shoot there if I can make it look a bit nicer. But if you would like to talk about real estate now, perhaps is the time to have a chat, because as we're seeing in Sydney and Melbourne, those markets are starting to plateau out, if not decline. We'll keep an eye on that. Interest rates haven't increased yet, but obviously we are expecting that to happen by mid-year. And so perhaps we are going to see some prices slow down at this point. I think it'd be hard-pressed to see prices going backwards this year, but that growth might slow. So if you would like to get in while the growth is still strong, please give me a call. You can reach me on 0407 149 757. Thanks, guys. Have a great month.